A reminder, the news doesn't end here. Here's what's coming up on WCNC Plus at 7 a.m.
The latest crime statistics are out for the third quarter. Charlotte overall is safer, but not in one area. We'll tell you about it.
Plus, early voting starts today across Mecklenburg County. The debate over a 1-cent sales tax and what both sides say it means for your future.
Measles cases spiking in South Carolina.
The vast majority of them are not vaccinated or only have one vaccine.
What experts say you need to know to keep your kids protected.
And the North Carolina State Fair opens its gates today.
We'll tell you what it takes to get the green light for vendors and some of the rides there. Those stories and much more live, local, and breaking news coming up at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus.
Live look this morning at I-277 and I-77 near Uptown this morning. It is getting busy out there. We are seeing crashes, but not as many right now. Just a lot of congestion around the Charlotte area this morning. One thing that we are watching near Uptown this morning is a right lane blocked at Brookshire Freeway Outer at Davidson.
And if you're rushing to get out the door this morning, you need to know it is going to be a very pleasant morning and afternoon. Mid-70s to look forward to, a crisp start to our Friday morning. Then we're heading into the weekend with nice conditions, warm on Saturday, rain showers return on Sunday.
It's like you need a jacket for the morning, but then lose it by the
Sweatshirt
afternoon.
might be it, exactly.
All right.
See you at 7 a.m. Streaming live right now at 7 a.m. here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. We are following some breaking news in Charlotte. 2 people seriously hurt in 2 separate overnight shootings. The first happening in South Charlotte along Nations Ford Road. Medic says 1 person was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. That second shooting happened along East Arbors Drive in Northeast Charlotte. Medic tells us 1 person was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries there as well.
Those 2 shootings come as we now have new data regarding violent crime here in Charlotte. CMPD released its 3rd quarter report covering January through September, and the new data shows crimes across the city are down.
WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane is live this morning sharing how repeat offenders are still driving much of the city's crime. Richard.
Yeah, good Tuesday morning to you, Lisa, Ben. Thursday morning, Lisa and Ben. Good Thursday morning to all our folks out on the Plus. Charlotte says that crime and overall safety here in Charlotte is up. Crime is down. But there are some areas that they're still concerned about, particularly when it comes to some increase in crimes here in the uptown area, right where CMPD headquarters is. Now, through the first 9 months of the year, overall crime is down here in the Queen City, some 8% this compared to last year. Violent crime has also fallen 20%. That includes a 24% drop in homicides and a 22% drop in robberies and an almost 20% drop in aggravated assaults. According to the latest crime statistics, which were released just yesterday by the police department, they say it's been an initiative working together to help get these numbers down. Burglary crimes and auto theft are also down 5%. And they say the department says, again, this is a result of working closely with the different neighborhoods to keep their day-to-day efforts. They say their day-to-day efforts in those neighborhoods are key to keeping those communities safe. Now, they say there's still an effort to keep the momentum going. They've launched new efforts like Entertainment District Unit, which is focused on safety here in Uptown as well as South End nightlife. And also they call the Crown Culture Initiative, which works to improve public perception and restore confidence. That's something they say is vitally important. They say while the numbers are encouraging, the problem with repeat offenders remain a challenge. The department continues to urge all of its residents to stay alert, lock their cars, and report suspicious activity to Charlotte's Crime Stoppers. Take a listen.
When someone gets into a disagreement in a bar or a nightclub, they go back out to their car. They get into a shooting. That's why we're telling people don't bring your guns, don't leave them unsecured, don't leave them in the car. That's why we're focusing in those areas. Unfortunately, alcohol and guns, people don't make good decisions.
We remain committed to reducing and preventing crime, addressing ongoing challenges, and ensuring Charlotte remains a safe place for everyone.
And they say that's the goal. So as much as if whatever the numbers show, it basically boils down to what each individual feels about safety in the Queen City. And with the stories that we've been reporting on lately, we know that perception is a lot more times more so than reality. We're right here at CMPD headquarters. This is Richard Devane. We'll send it back to you.
Which makes it hard for police and city leaders, because if they have the data that says, hey, we are making progress, or hey, there's been positive news, but people don't feel that way.
Right.
It almost feels like you're fighting a losing battle. Perception is important when it comes to these things. Richard Devane reporting live for us from police headquarters there in Uptown. Richard, thank you.
All right, let's check in with Majestic now to find out more about our focus. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at that, Majestic.
It is so pretty outside. I mean, I've been loving all of our live cameras. Everyone is really enjoying a nice start to the day. Clear skies, sunshine, and boy, what a nice sunrise. We're starting to see it right there in downtown Monroe. Monroe, you're looking good on this Thursday, no doubt about it, right here in the Queen City. Nice pink hues out there. 58 is where you're currently starting your day. And then in Boone, a little cooler with upper 40s as you're heading out the door if you have someplace to be this morning. Now, a few things you're going to want to know is, actually, this is really interesting. Over the last after the last 3 days, we've had 81 degrees each and every day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And one thing you need to know is that today we kind of break that streak. It is going to be a little bit cooler. However, it's still going to be gorgeous. I mean, you know it's going to be a nice day when you're waking up to a view like this. A stunning start to the day right there in the Queen City. Slightly cooler. We're talking about right around those mid to upper 70s today and tomorrow. Saturday, the 80s return, another warming trend ahead. And then on Sunday, we have a cold front that's going to move through our area, but it's only bringing now a slight chance for a few passing showers. Upper 40s from Statesville to Jefferson. It's 58 degrees right now in Charlotte, so maybe you're gearing up to head out the door to get to work, or maybe you're dropping the kids off at school today. There's that bus stop forecast. one of those forecasts where you grab a sweatshirt in the morning, you toss it aside by the afternoon, and really you just need a t-shirt because it is going to be very, very mild. Send those kids outside to play, or maybe if they have an after-school sports activity, it's going to be a great day to spend some time out there with temperatures mainly into the mid to upper 70s. Clear skies this morning all across the Carolinas. We've had a weak cold front push through the area. It's called a backdoor cold front because of the direction in which it's coming in from. So it's not moving in from the west to the east, but instead from the northeast, and it's going to continue to track off to the south of us. What that means for us is that it's going to pull in cooler temperatures for us today. I mean, not a dramatic difference, but also drier air back behind it. You can see where that cold front is situated because of the dew points. 40s right now, feeling pretty nice and crisp. And then where we have that green there, the dew points are a little higher because that front hasn't passed through that area quite yet. Now, over the next few days, yeah, you're going to notice all that sunshine, but you also notice that the air just feels like fall. You know, that crisp air, you're going to feel it tomorrow especially because we'll see these daytime highs warm well into the 70s for a lot of us. But then by tomorrow morning, I'm not kidding you, it's going to feel a bit cold out there for some, especially in Boone, 37 there, 40s for most of us. We're going to have more in your extended forecast and whether or not we could see some rain showers moving in and when we could, all coming up here in a little while. All right, Destiny, I'm going to send things over to you. What's the latest as people are heading out the door for their morning commute?
Yeah, there hasn't been much of an update other than, more people on the road, more backups this morning, but surprisingly not more accidents. That's very good news for people who are heading out to work this morning. This is I-277 up top here and I-77 traffic down below near Uptown. Things looking great. Unfortunately, this is blocking that beautiful sunset in the background, but it is beautiful, trust me. We're looking at this congestion this morning, a lot going on, especially South Charlotte and on I-85 near Gastonia this morning. Here are the biggest issues though. Again, not a whole lot of accidents, but we still have a right lane partially blocked on I-277 here on one side of Uptown near the Davidson Street exit 3. Again, we haven't seen huge backups from this, but just be aware of that blockage. Not too far away in Uptown, 5th Street at West 6th Street. That's right in front of a parking garage this morning. And then going all the way over to the west, still seeing issues, not particularly from this crash, but it's still on the map. I-85 north at NC7, shoulder still blocked, but right going further north of that is a lot of red from just the usual backups on I-85 northbound. So just be aware of that. And then in Ballantyne Ray Road at I-485. And that's all we have on the map this morning. Here are your drive times into the Charlotte area. A little heavy out there.
Thanks. A Mooresville man currently in a Florida jail waiting to be sent back home on charges of child sex crimes. The Idaho County Sheriff's Office says 50-year-old Luis Sosa is facing multiple charges of felony human trafficking and statutory sexual offense. We've got some footage from Florida deputies arresting Sosa last week. Local investigators say Sosa preyed upon his victims between 2002 and 2008. They tell us the children were Argentinian internationals, 13 and 17-year-olds all at the time, and were part of a religious ministry that Sosa led.
One man will spend 4 years in federal prison for a data breach that impacted CMS and several other school districts across North Carolina. 20-year-old Matthew Lane pleaded guilty to cyber extortion conspiracy. Lane is connected to the Power School data breach that happened back in December. That program stores student information. The breach also hit schools across the country. Right now, CMPD mourning the loss of one of its own, retired K-9 Levi. Alongside his handler, Officer Brent Simpson, officials say the two were instrumental in locating narcotics and capturing countless violent criminals. Levi was affectionately dubbed the combat corgi, quote, a little smaller than the other dogs, but twice as tough. Levi was retired in last year following the tragic passing of Officer Simpson.
Los Angeles has declared a state of emergency over immigration raids, but it's not the only city in the spotlight. We'll tell you about raids happening nationwide next.
7:12 now in California, Los Angeles, declaring a state of emergency in response to immigration raids. And new video now surfacing of another dramatic arrest caught on camera.
NBC's Gabe Gutierrez has more on what President Trump is saying and how LA is not the only city in the spotlight as ICE raids continue.
Los Angeles County declaring a state of emergency over President Trump's immigration raids. In a move typically used after natural disasters, the Board of Supervisors now voting to allow taxpayer funds to help undocumented immigrants and their families pay for rent and legal aid if they're impacted by federal enforcement operations.
I want our immigrant communities to know that we are in this emergency with them. We see them. We understand what they're going through.
It comes as dramatic surveillance video emerges of an ICE arrest in Chicago. Homeland Security officials say an undocumented immigrant inside that SUV tried to flee an arrest Tuesday, ramming into a Border Patrol vehicle. DHS says the Border Patrol vehicle smashed into the SUV to stop it, prompting a chase on foot. Later, a hostile crowd gathering, at one point throwing eggs and rocks at federal officers. Tear gas then deployed. This video shows a man and woman running with a baby in a car seat away from the smoke.
ICE has continued to come to our community to terrorize, intimidate, and create fear amongst our members.
But Chicago Alderman Raymond Lopez argues Democratic leaders have fueled the fire by antagonizing the president.
Do you support the president's crackdown on crime in major cities?
I absolutely support any effort to make our cities safer. Why wouldn't we want to accept the president's help?
Late today, the president vowing a new federal surge in more U.S. cities to fight crime.
If we didn't have to fight all of these radical left governors, we could have had Chicago taken care of. We're going to save Chicago.
Back in Los Angeles, one county official voted against that emergency declaration, arguing it wasn't meant for that purpose and will invite legal challenges.
Gabe Gutierrez reporting there. After a request from the Department of Justice, Meta has taken down a Facebook group that shared information about ICE agents in Chicago. That's according to a post Tuesday on X from Attorney General Pam Bondi. The group page called ICE Sighting Chicagoland had more than 80,000 members before it was removed. Bondi claims that page was being used to target agents. It comes after Apple and Google removed apps earlier this month that were used to track immigration agents.
Now in Wisconsin, one grocery store that serves the Hispanic community is stepping up to help neighbors who are afraid to leave their homes amid reports of ICE activity. It comes on social media posts claim ICE agents are in the area. Right now, the San Luis grocery store is offering free delivery to its customers. The family there who owns it says the doors and hearts there will remain open to their neighbors.
We're going to go through this together. I was in the same situation a long time ago. As an immigrant, I was for a long time, I was on, no documents for a long time. And I know how it feels. I know how it feels being afraid and having kids, and that somehow in 1 minute, your whole life can go away, and we're going to help them. We're here to help.
My father has been undocumented for a long time, and I feel like we know how it is. And with the stuff happening right now, I feel like the home deliveries is probably the least we can do. We are bringing down prices for everybody. Everybody is welcome here.
The family says deliveries are already underway this week, hoping to bring some comfort and connection to neighbors who need it right now.
An update on your forecast for this Thursday and a check of the morning commute in just 2 minutes.
And that's not it. Meet a 101-year-old jeweler who doesn't plan to stop working anytime soon.
Well, good morning, everyone. Look at how pretty it is outside. I love seeing all these live cameras this time of the day because, boy, it is gorgeous out there and it feels pretty nice as well. Nice and crisp. Now, this is the kind of sunrise that you suspect and look forward to during autumn. We're seeing a live look in downtown Monroe right now. And if you are getting ready to head out the door this morning, I mean, this is setting the tone for a fantastic afternoon. Starting temperatures are mainly into the 50s and 60s. Yesterday we topped off at 81 degrees. Today it will be a little bit cooler with mid-70s, but really not that big of a deal. It's still going to be fantastic. Our average high for this time of the year is 73 degrees. By tomorrow, we'll drop down just a touch cooler, 75 for our high. And then Saturday, if you have any plans, that's going to be the warmest day out of our weekend, with highs reaching those low 80s again. And then Sunday, we'll start to see those temperatures drop. So kind of a lot going on, although day to day it doesn't seem like a whole lot because we still have plenty of sunshine. Waking up tomorrow morning, are you ready for some 40s? And if you're watching from the mountains, you have some 30s, mid to upper 30s on the way. This upcoming weekend, both Saturday and Sunday morning, will be comfortable, and then it will be a cooler start to our new work week next week. And if you're wondering about that rain, we still don't have any opportunity for any widespread or heavy rain. We do have our eyes on Sunday. That'll be our next best chance for any rain, only a 30% chance. So let's walk you through a few things. We have something called a backdoor cold front pushing through. It will not bring in any cloud coverage today. It will not bring in any rain. Simply, it's moving in from a different direction. Usually with cold fronts are moving west to east. A backdoor cold front is moving in from the north and the east and then continuing to track to the south. So sure, we'll pull in cooler temperatures and drier air. That's going to drop our humidity even more, and then high pressure continues to build, delivering really nice conditions over the next several days. However, we're watching a very strong cold front sweep across the country. Here it is now. I want to walk you through our futurecast, bringing some impacts mainly Saturday and Sunday. And with those impacts, really not for our area, but it's going to be a big point in the country, will be right here, especially on Saturday, because we oftentimes see severe weather not just in the spring, but we have a secondary severe weather season in the fall as well. And we're going to see that start to develop a little bit more frequently. And this is going to be the situation as we're heading through Saturday. A medium level for severe storms, meaning tornadoes will be possible across Arkansas, Oklahoma, parts of Louisiana and Mississippi. By the time that same cold front reaches the Carolinas, it goes over the mountains. It loses a lot of its strength. And at this point on Sunday, we've now dropped our rain chances from 50% yesterday to now 30% today. So Sunday will be, I think we'll have more cloud coverage. We'll be a little bit cooler, but do not be ready for widespread rain. And with that, this is now our weekend forecast. Here's about Saturday, that high pressure. We love that. Saturday is going to be nice, but once that front actually reaches our area, yes, some sprinkles or some scattered rain showers will be likely on Sunday, but again, not a great chance for it. And if we do get that rain, it would likely be after sunset. Back behind that front, we'll start to see temperatures drop again, and you can see that here in our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. Mid-70s today, upper 40s tomorrow morning, and then Friday we are heading into the weekend with nice conditions, 70s then, and then remember 80s on Saturday. That's going to be our warming trend for the Charlotte FC day. And then on Sunday, yes, some scattered showers, but really not too bad of a day. Next week you can see multiple mornings in a row where we do wake up to 40s, and then those temperatures rebound nicely into the 70s. All right, Destiny, what's going on across the area? Roadways starting to get busy, I bet.
It is starting to get busy. It's been busy for a while, but now we're starting to see more accidents with it as well. This is I-77, the northbound side near the Carowinds Boulevard exit this morning. Northbound traffic on I-77 is just always going to be very congested around this time of the morning, so just a heads up there. And then looking at the South Carolina cameras this morning, you can see at Gold Hill Road, the northbound traffic is also pretty backed up. So just be aware of that. Our newest accident this morning causing some trouble is on York Road Road north at Grand Palisades Parkway. Traffic currently backed up all the way across the state line there across Lake Wiley. So just be aware of that this morning if you are commuting into the Charlotte area using York Road or just traversing through that area in general. We also have some red and orange at Wendover Road south at Monroe Road, really close to Independence this morning, and just seeing a lot of dicey slowdowns in this area in general this morning. And then, of course, still following this in the uptown area, right lane blocked partially at Brookshire Freeway Outer Loop at the Davidson Street exit. Drive safely.
Many say if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. That's especially true for this New Jersey woman. Meet Ann Angeletti. She's a 101-year-old jeweler who still runs her own business. Ann is no stranger to hard work. When her husband went off to fight in World War II, Ann took a job at the Navy Yard. After that, she worked as a waitress. Ann offers this advice: if you don't like the work that you are doing, find something else to do.
How many days a week do you come to work?
6. My store is open 5 days.
Uh-huh.
And Monday, I go into the city. If I retire, I would die. So I cannot stay home.
For her, Ann runs that jewelry business with her daughter and granddaughter.
I do think that as generations change and in the years to come, and as we think about retirement in a few years, that we're going to look at retirement a little differently, because people are, getting much older and lasting having much longer life. And so retiring at 65, well, a lot of people have another 20 or 30 years beyond that are really good years, and maybe whether it's volunteering or working something.
That's the thing. And I think the research shows, like, you want to do something to stay active, to keep your brain challenged so that you're mentally, being challenged. And I think that you're right. I mean, if you love what you do, hey, why not?
Something that you're passionate about is
For sure.
a great way to spend your time.
I feel like, Scott,
go ahead.
I feel like whenever we have stories like this and the people who make it to 100 years or older, they're always busybodies.
Yeah.
They're not just relaxing, sitting on their couch. They're always doing something.
Yes.
Love that.
All right, let's go to live pictures right now as the sun comes up over our fair city. Take a look at that. Another gorgeous day on top. Maybe not quite as warm as it's been the last couple of days, but still really, really nice. We've got the details of your forecast and your morning commute next, right here on WCNC Plus.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. Boy, it is gorgeous outside. Take a look at your TV screen. Out in Monroe, you are looking fantastic. Temperatures are mainly into the 50s and 60s for most of us, but look at Boone. It's pretty with all those trees changing colors. Upper 40s as you're heading out the door there. Today's forecast looks nice. 40s and 50s early in the morning. Feeling comfortable if you're heading out for your morning walk. However, if you're sending those kids off to the school bus, they might want a sweatshirt early this morning. Otherwise, by the afternoon, plan for another sunny and nice day, but slightly cooler. We have had 3 days in a row where we hit 81 degrees. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then today we're forecasting about 76 here in Charlotte, 68 if you're going to be out there in Boone. There's that Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast looking great. The Charlotte Checkers are at home on Friday, and then the Charlotte FC game on Saturday looks fantastic. Destiny.
Yeah, this morning it is getting busy out there, so wherever you are going, just plan for that, especially if you're coming up from south into the Charlotte area, South Carolina. This morning we're looking at I-77 near Carowinds Boulevard. Look at all of that congestion. We also have an issue here near the state line in Lake Wiley, York Road north at Grand Palisades Parkway. A lot of backups right there. Join us on WCNC Plus for more.
Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus at 7:30. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. Today marks the start of early voting here in Mecklenburg County. Discussions continued last night on a major item on the ballot, the 1-cent sales tax for transportation-related projects.
If approved, it would raise the sales tax in Mecklenburg County from 7.25% to 8.25%. For example, on a $100 purchase, you would pay $8.25 in sales tax instead of $7.25. WCNC Charlotte's Tradisha Woodard spoke with folks on both sides about how this measure could change Charlotte's transportation system for years to come.
Before polls even open, voters' phones have already been lighting up, flooded with text messages urging them to vote yes or no.
Both of them are wearing me out.
City leaders and transportation advocates say the tax is critical to fund light rail expansion, safer roads, and long-promised sidewalks, calling it an investment in Charlotte's future.
People need to take that seriously. It's potential investments in the future of this community and how we'll grow and how we'll be able to keep up with the influx of 157 people a day moving to this area.
Others, including several community organizations like Action NC, are pushing back, saying the extra tax would hit low-income families hardest and question whether money will really be spent as promised.
The city paints you the best picture that they can. For low-income communities, it's asking us to pay for a train coming to bring in folks for the suburbs, for the corporate community, in exchange for bus shelters.
As both sides make their final push tonight, knocking on doors and sharing information online,
The fix is voting this down and starting over.
the community will ultimately decide if the project is worth every penny with every vote.
Drive around, look around. I mean, are you satisfied with what you see?
And early voting will begin October 16th and continue through November 1st. Reporting for WCNC Charlotte, I'm Tradisha Woodard.
Looking ahead, Mecklenburg County Young Republicans are hosting a day of action to help District 6 candidate Krista Bakari. They plan to meet Saturday morning at the Hyatt Central South Park on Apex Drive. That group plans to go door to door in the area to canvass votes. Let's check back in with Majestic now for another update on our forecast. We saw that glorious shot over Monroe the last time we checked in with you, Majestic, and I'm sure you have another gorgeous shot to show us as well.
It's so pretty. I want to show you this one. This one's coming in from Anson County out there in Lylesville. A little bit breezy, but you can see those trees out in the distance continuing to change colors. It's so pretty this time of the year. Another camera coming in from Monroe. This is the one that has been the beauty. Lisa, I think it's even better. Look at this. It's getting better as the morning goes on. This is setting us up for a gorgeous day. I know many of you love this time of the year because, for one, the weather's usually pretty comfortable, but the leaves are continuing to change colors. If you're making plans to go see them up in the mountains over the next few days, really the best places right here will be Banner Elk, Blowing Rock, and then out there in Boone. We're starting to see areas a little higher past peak, but it's going to be really nice in the upcoming days because still we get to enjoy some sunshine and those leaves are continuing to just become more and more vibrant. Here's our mountain forecast. You can see over the next 5 days, quite comfortable. Upper 60s, low to mid 70s. Saturday a high of 74, but on Sunday 62 degrees, so a little bit cooler, and that'll be the best day for us to see some passing rain showers. Remember, yesterday we topped off at 81 degrees, and it wasn't just yesterday. It was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We actually recorded a high of 81 each and every day, and today is going to be a little bit cooler because of that weak, dry, cold front moving through, dropping our temperatures back down into the mid 70s. Not much to complain about, though. It's still going to be very, very nice. As we're heading into Saturday, we'll see an increase in those temperatures, and then those daytime highs will start to drop as we're heading into the beginning of the week. Now look at these lows. Tomorrow morning you're going to step outside right around sunrise and you're going to feel that chill in the air because temperatures won't even be 50 degrees, but because of that cold front we'll have dry air in place, so there will not be any moisture in the air that'll be noticeable. It'll be that dry air associated with temperatures that are right around 50 degrees. And then rain chances. I know many of you are still looking for some rain, and unfortunately we don't have great chances over the next 10 days. Sunday, we could see a few scattered showers, but we've continued to drop those opportunities. Yesterday, we had it at about 50%, but as we continue to look at the forecast a little bit better, as we get a little closer to Sunday, now it's dropped down to 30%. Here's our futurecast right here. Remember, we have something called a backdoor cold front. It's a little different because most of the cold fronts move west to east. This one's moving in from the northeast and then tracking south. So back behind it, we will have cooler, more dry air. Then high pressure takes over. High pressure delivers that nice weather forecast that we all look forward to. But then the big story is this very strong cold front moving across the middle half of the country. The mid-south really getting impacted by that. Over the next 3 days, we'll see a severe weather chance across the country. Thursday, Friday, Saturday being the worst of it, especially in this area shaded in orange. That's where we could have those spin-ups, those tornadoes, damaging winds, even large hail. The bullseye really being almost the entire state of Arkansas, but also we're looking at Oklahoma, Louisiana, parts of Texas. And by the time that same cold front reaches the Carolinas, thankfully it does lose a lot of momentum. We don't want that severe weather, but we could use a little bit more rain. And as of now, it only seems like minimal rain chances. As that front does move close to us, again, if we do get any rain on Sunday, it would likely be after sunset. So plan accordingly. Next few days will be perfect. Get outside. If you need to do some yard work, it would be a great time to do that. I've noticed lots of people outside raking those leaves, and thankfully the winds will remain calm today. All right, Destiny, how are the area roadways? Any big problems right now?
Yeah, it's definitely getting pretty dicey out there this morning. Take care that you give yourself plenty of time and plan for some accidents that are popping up. Some good news, though, to start with. This accident on Brookshire Freeway has cleared near Uptown at the Davidson Street exit, so no problems there. Looking at a wider view of the map in the Charlotte area right now, though, we're seeing a lot of congestion on all of our freeways, so just be aware of that this morning. But if you're in the Wendover-Sedgwood neighborhood, we got some issues there. There's a serious accident right now with all lanes blocked on Randolph Road North at South Canterbury Road. Right now, we know that medic is on scene here, still waiting to get details about possible injuries and involved in this accident. So we'll keep you updated with that. But as you can see, a huge backup here. And not too far away from this, on Wendover Road South at Monroe Road, we do have another accident here. And just in this area in general, on Independence and this neighborhood, just be aware there's just a lot of congestion going on, and people will have to get around these accidents as well. So a lot going on over there. Going towards Lake Wiley now, another big accident, York Road North at Grand Palisades Parkway. Right now, traffic is backed up across Lake Wiley, so across the state line there. And those are the big serious ones right now. There's a couple of other smaller accidents around the area, but those are going to affect you the most. Coming into the Charlotte area, 53 minutes if you're coming from Gastonia, 26 from Matthews, 32 from Belmont. So things are getting pretty heavy out there in terms of commute times. Just drive carefully.
All right, Destiny, thank you. The North Carolina State Fair begins today, but before the opening of the gates, organizers made sure every safety measure was cleared. With food being one of the top attractions for fair visits, health officials inspected all 160 vendors to make sure they are in compliance, making sure the food is stored at correct temperatures, equipment is clean, and stations are sanitary. Leaders say safety is important for visitors and for the vendors' bottom lines as well.
Our job is to make sure everyone is successful. So we come out, we help them problem solve if there is anything any larger. Most of the time it's really just the little things like everyone forgets.
The fair rides also inspected as well. North Carolina has some of the strictest laws around ride safety in the country. The fair is open until October 26th.
The government shutdown enters day 16, and the Trump administration now blocked from laying off federal workers. We'll tell you more about the legal battle and how workers are struggling to get by.
It's 7:41 right now on WCNC Plus, and as we speak, the Trump administration is blocked, at least for now, from laying off federal workers during the government shutdown.
This ruling comes 5 days after the administration sent layoff notifications to more than 4,000 federal workers. Now, as the shutdown enters its third week, more federal workers are looking for help to make ends meet. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
As the government shutdown drags on, the stakes are ramping up.
We're getting rid of a lot of things that we never wanted.
And prompting a new legal battle. A federal judge temporarily blocking the Trump administration from laying off federal workers during the shutdown, even as White House Budget Director Russell Vogt promised to pick up the pace from the 4,000 already cut this shutdown.
It could grow higher. I think we'll probably end up being north of 10,000.
Vogt is a longtime advocate for shrinking the federal government, and Democrats argue the new threats are a continuation of his plan all along.
These employees have been traumatized, in Russ Vogt's word, by this administration since Inauguration Day. These are illegal firings.
2 unions sued to prevent the firings that a federal judge in California has now agreed are illegal, writing in part that the Trump administration has, quote, taken advantage of the lapse in government spending and government functioning to assume that all bets are off and the laws don't apply to them anymore. As the fight grows from the courts to Capitol Hill, where Democrats and Republicans are deadlocked over how to reopen the government, everyday people are suffering. Food banks seeing a surge in need. Workers at this one in Alabama describing the struggles of one federal worker family.
They're not getting a paycheck, and this has never happened to them before, and they were embarrassed and humiliated and terrified.
Real-world impacts with no end in sight.
The judge who temporarily blocked the firings also accused the Trump administration of attempting to punish the opposing political party, while Justice Department attorneys arguing for the administration sought to make the case that losing a job is not an irreparable harm. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Right now, a student at the University of Southern California is facing charges accused of using drugs to rape and assault multiple women. 30-year-old C.G. Wang has been in custody since August. He was charged in September in connection with 3 alleged rapes. Prosecutors say he used anesthesia or some sort of controlled substance to carry out the attacks. According to his LinkedIn profile, Wang is a teaching and research assistant at USC in physical electronics and quantum mechanics.
Evidence was recovered at Wang's residence that corroborated his involvement in drug-facilitated sexual assaults of multiple victims, dating back to 2021 and continuing into 2025. I can say that our detectives and our investigation has led us to believe that over the course and span of this individual's activities, there are going to be more victims that are going to be located here in the Los Angeles region and potentially outside of the Los Angeles region.
USC said in a statement that it's cooperating with police but didn't answer questions about when administrators learned of the allegations or whether students were notified, as is typically required by law when a crime occurs on or near a campus.
A check of your morning commute and an update on the Thursday forecast in just 2 minutes.
Plus, we'll tell you about it.
All right, good morning, everyone. We're off to another beautiful start to the day. Look at this. We have clear skies, nice, cool, refreshing temperatures outside. Looking perfect from Monroe to Charlotte. You can see it here. Even out there in Boone, I love that camera because you can see all the beautiful trees continuing to change colors, and it feels nice. 50 degrees there this morning. Downtown Monroe, you're showing off and you're looking good on this Thursday. And really, the forecast today is not going to be a whole lot different compared to what we have seen over the last few days. It'll be slightly cooler, but again, holding on to nice sunny skies. It's 49 degrees right now in Jefferson, 48 for our friends out in Morganton, 46 in Lincolnton, and really warmer here in Charlotte, 58 degrees. Throughout the rest of the day today, sunny skies. That's what you need to be prepared for. And then those temperatures this afternoon will not hit 81 degrees like we have over the last 3 days, but instead let's plan for a high right around 76. That's for Charlotte. Now, if you're up in Jefferson, 65 is where you should top off, and about 75 for Monroe. Here's our satellite and radar this morning. This is what we like to see. Clear skies all across the Carolinas. It's beautiful. We've had this dry cold front sweep through the area. You can oftentimes detect where that cold front is when you look at the dew points. The lower the number, the less moisture that's in the air in those specific spots. And then you can see ahead of that front, that's where it is still a little bit more humid. So that front will continue to pull in cooler air and drier air. So over the next couple of days, it is going to feel crisp, especially in the morning time hours. So if you're an early riser, I'm telling you, you're going to feel it by tomorrow morning because we'll have that dry air in place, but we'll also be waking up to temperatures that are about 10 degrees cooler than where we currently are. 47 will be our overnight low here in Charlotte, 44 in Monroe. Look at Wadesboro, 41, and then up in the mountains, 37 in Boone, 39 in Jefferson. And then we will still see those daytime highs rebound very nicely back into the mid-70s tomorrow. No rain chances over the next several days. Sunday, about a 30% chance of seeing some stray showers, but it's all coming from this very strong cold front that's going to bring some problems across the mid-south over the weekend. Once it actually hits our area, it loses a lot of its strength, and that same cold front is only going to bring small opportunities for us to receive rain. Meanwhile, it brings 3 days in a row of back-to-back severe weather potential across the mid-south, with the worst of it seeming like it's going to be on Saturday. You can see that area shaded in orange. That's where the level will be the highest for severe storms to develop, and some of those storms could even provide some tornadoes. So we'll keep a close eye on that. It's oftentimes that we see a severe weather season in the springtime, but also in the fall. Again, once that front reaches us, only a 30% chance of rain, and once that rain moves into the Carolinas, it likely wouldn't be until after sunset. There's that Jerry Hunt Super Center 7-day forecast for you. Plenty of sunshine. Hope you can get outside and enjoy it. All right, Destiny, going to change gears. How are the roads this morning?
Yeah, there's a lot of congestion happening just across the area. Of course, on all of our cameras, heading into the Charlotte area from South Carolina, our South Carolina cameras headed up north, you're going to see just a lot of this stop and go traffic right now. It's just really busy at this time of the morning, and we do have that kind of all across the map on most of our interstates this morning. So just plan ahead, give yourself plenty of time if you're about to head out onto the road. But I want to focus in on our southeast part of the metro area. This is where a lot of our accidents, our more serious accidents, are localized this morning. One of those is a serious one. All lanes are blocked on Randolph Road North at South Canterbury Road. Right now, not a whole lot of details on this other than that medic is on scene at this time, but we'll give you an update on that once we have more information. Not too far away, Wendover Road South at Monroe Road, and as you can see, just a lot of congestion around this area in general. And then I did find there is an accident on Independence Boulevard itself at Margaret Wallace Road, so just take care if you're in this area this morning. Of course, we're following a lot more accidents even near Lake Wiley this morning. This one's been around for a while, and we'll have more updates on what's going on this morning as you head out in a few minutes.
A new frosty treat will soon be heading to the frozen food aisle. If you love Nutella and ice cream, you're in luck. Nutella ice cream will hit stores later this year. According to a news release, there will be swirls of Nutella in every bite.
Okay.
The company plans to start shipping the treat to convenience stores on December 1st, with wider retail distribution expected next spring. All right, a pizza delivery guy in New Jersey found a creative way to work through flooding. Delivery by kayak.
Jim Murdoch tells us how he pulled it off as fast as he could.
Hello, brothers. Good, how are you?
Anthony Diaz set out on a routine delivery call from Brothers Pizza in a Subaru Monday around lunchtime to an address in nearby Mystic Islands. Problem was, the way there was flooded, big time.
When I got up there, I saw it was about like a foot of water. I didn't know how deep it was, and I didn't want to ruin my car. I just got it fixed, so I decided to park and I was gonna walk.
He made it all the way to the corner of Twin Lakes and Delaware Drive in front of Jill's house.
The pizza guy was there, he parked his car, and he was wandering around and he couldn't go any further with his car. And I joked with him and I said, "Do you want a kayak?" The little blue one he took.
And off he went, even FaceTiming his stunned girlfriend, Adriana. As neighbors snapped photos and videos of the determined delivery guy for Anthony, it was all just part of the job.
It was just a pie. It was just a plain pie. It was easy to carry. I had put it on my lap and started rowing.
Anthony's kayaking adventure was no small feat. It was about 1/3 of a mile each way. And when he reached his final destination here at the end of West Potomac Drive, the homeowner said he had no idea how bad the flooding actually was. When he found out, he put a call in to Anthony's boss and said that employee is a keeper.
The customer was happy about it. He called me up. He goes, "Dude, man, he's great, this kid. You know, he did a good job."
About 15 minutes, he came back, and that was it. He got a tip. He got a $15 tip for a $14 pizza. Not bad.
Don't matter what it is, nothing stops him. You know what I mean? Nothing stopped him.
Anthony took it all in stride, or should we say paddle.
You gotta do it. That's the world we live in now. You gotta problem solve as quick as you can, as efficient as you can.
We'd expect nothing less from this Jersey guy, especially when a hot, fresh pizza is on the line.
I mean, when you have a hankering for pizza.
I was wondering about that tip.
You think it should be more?
I mean, the guy was kayaking 1/3 of a mile
each way.
A promotion. With a good tip. I'm not saying $15 wasn't bad, but
yeah, I've seen something like this in Florida, in Destin. It's called Crab Island.
Okay.
And there's tons of like boats that'll come out of nowhere and they'll deliver food for you. I've never seen anything like it. Like Chick-fil-A, or one boat will deliver like ice cream, or one will have, you know, hamburgers and hot dogs going.
People want to get their food.
But I like this guy's story a little better.
Yeah. Love that.
We're going to take a quick break as we take a live look right now over the sun coming up over the skylines. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Time to wake up and get the day started. It is gorgeous outside. Plenty of sunshine. Live camera coming in from downtown Monroe. It doesn't just look nice, but those temperatures are feeling nice and refreshing. It's 59 degrees right now in the Queen City. We're looking at low 50s from Boone to Jefferson. Morganton, good morning. 49 degrees for you right now. Plenty of sunshine this morning and plan for that this afternoon as well. Now, today will be slightly cooler compared to what we did have over the last 3 days, which was 80 81 degrees. Today we're forecasting 76 in Charlotte and 68 out there in Boone. Satellite and radar, we have all clear skies, and the dew points are continuing to drop as a weak cold front is passing by. So what that means is that tomorrow is going to feel even better. We're looking at nice crisp conditions as you're heading out the door. 40s early Friday morning, and then their weekend weather forecast not looking bad with small chances for showers on Sunday. Destiny.
Yeah, right now it is pretty busy out there. We have a couple of big accidents, especially in the southeast Charlotte area near Independence and Providence. This morning we're following a serious accident with all lanes blocked on Randolph Road at South Canterbury Road. And it's just a mess right now just from people trying to detour it and get around. So just plan ahead for that. Going up a little bit further north towards Independence, Wendover Road south at Monroe Road. So a big mess. Join us on WCNC Plus for more updates.
Streaming live right now at 8 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. We are following breaking news in Charlotte. 2 people seriously hurt in 2 separate shootings overnight. The first happened in South Charlotte along Nations Ford Road. Medic says 1 person was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. That second shooting happened along East Arbors Drive in Northeast Charlotte. Medic also telling us again, 1 person taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
Those 2 shootings come as we now have new data regarding violent crime in Charlotte right now. CMPD released its 3rd quarter report covering January through September, and that new data shows crimes across the city are actually down.
WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane is live this morning sharing how repeat offenders are still driving much of the city's crime. Richard.
Yeah, Lisa, good morning to you. Good morning, Ben. Good Thursday morning, everyone. Those repeat offenders are particularly something that CMPD says they need to work on getting those people who they've arrested before back off the streets because they continue to account for an unfortunate amount of crime here in the Queen City. But they say the good news in all, when they release those crime statistics for the 3rd quarter of 2025, overall they say numbers showing promising trends of continuing to fall. That's through the first 9 months of the year. Overall crime is now down some 8%, this compared to 2024. And violent crime has fallen 20%. That includes a 24% drop in homicides, a 22% drop in robberies, and an almost 20% drop in aggravated assaults. This all according to the latest data. Property crimes like burglary and auto theft are also down some 5%. While officer-initiated efforts are up 18%, firearm seizures, that's up also 25%, and arrests up 15%. The department says this is all a result of patrol officers working closely with neighborhoods, saying their day-to-day efforts are key to keeping communities safe. Now, to keep that momentum going, the police department has launched new efforts like the Entertainment District unit that's focused on safety in the Uptown area, an area that has had some issues with a spike in violent crime. And the Crown Culture Initiative, which works to improve public perception and also to restore confidence. You know, the department says while the numbers are encouraging, repeat offenders still remain a challenge. They continue to urge residents to stay alert. They also tell you to lock your cars and report suspicious activity to Charlotte Crime Stoppers, and please refrain from grabbing a gun to resolve conflicts. Take a listen.
When someone gets into a disagreement in a bar or a nightclub, they go back out to their car. They get into a shooting. That's why we're telling people don't bring your guns, don't leave them unsecured, don't leave them in the car. That's why we're focusing in those areas. Unfortunately, alcohol and guns, people don't make good decisions.
We remain committed to reducing and preventing crime, addressing ongoing challenges, and ensuring Charlotte remains a safe place for everyone.
And they say that is the goal. They also say they understand the perception, especially with some of the high profile stories we've told you about over the last several months, including that fatal stabbing and just the other day, an incident in South Park. It has the perception of folks not being actually as safe as they are. But like they say, the reality is they say the numbers are going down, but they understand that sometimes folks' perception might be a little bit different. We're right here at CMPD headquarters in Uptown. This is Richard of Hain. We'll send it back to you.
And that's the thing, we hear perception is reality. If you don't feel safe, if something's happened to you, then, you know, it's all about how you see it.
If it's happened to you,
it doesn't matter. Numbers don't matter.
Numbers do not matter at all. Or if it could happen in your neighborhood even. All right, Richard Devane reporting live for us there in Uptown. Richard, thank you.
All right, good morning, everyone. We are going to take live camera coming in from, let's see, Blowing Rock. If the camera's not working, hold on, let me switch this one. It's going to be a beautiful day, really, no matter where you are today. Across the Carolinas, we'll go with this one. Anson County looking good there in Lylesville, where we do have clear skies. A lot of those trees also changing colors now that we're just seeing really peak fall foliage up in those higher elevations. Now, yesterday was a really beautiful day for all of us. It was a little bit on the warm side. 81 degrees is where we topped off, but it wasn't just yesterday. It was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 3 days in a row where we had the exact same daytime high. Today we do have a dry cold front pushing through the area. Dry cold front means no rain, still no cloud cover. It's going to be beautiful. It does drop our temperatures just a little bit, and it will also pull in drier air. Waking up Friday morning, 47 degrees, mostly sunny skies, sunny and 75. And it's a Friday. That's a good looking day ahead. And then Saturday is going to be a little bit warmer with the return of low 80s. The Queen City right now looking gorgeous as well. On Sunday, that'll be our next best opportunity to see a few scattered showers, but that will not be widespread or heavy rain whatsoever. You can see from Monroe to Charlotte to Boone, it is beautiful. Look at Boone. I love that camera as well. 50 degrees there right now. As we're heading into the day today, a few things that you need to be prepared for as you're heading out the door. Is that it's mild outside. It's not cold. It's not warm. It's just really right in the middle. One of those forecasts where maybe you just grab a sweatshirt for those morning time hours, toss it aside by the afternoon. You can see off to the distance how pretty those trees are there. 51 degrees in Jefferson and 47 out towards Lincolnton. If you're heading out for a morning walk, I think this would be a great day to do that. I've also noticed lots of people outside working in their yard, getting it all ready for fall and even into winter eventually. It's going to be nice nice today. 76 for our high this afternoon as those kids are coming home from school. 76 for Hickory and about mid to upper 60s if you're spending the day out in the mountains or if you're lucky enough to live there. Waking up tomorrow morning, clear skies, cool temperatures. That's the name of the game. 37 degrees in Boone. That'll wake you up for your Friday morning. 47 out there in Charlotte, right here in Charlotte. And then still no rain chances until Sunday. And Sunday, it's only a 30% chance. And here's a reason why. We're watching this very strong cold front that's going to sweep across really the mid-south right there. It's going to bring severe weather for multiple states. By the time it actually reaches the Carolinas, it won't have a lot of energy with it. That same cold front, though, brings 3 back-to-back days of possible severe weather, with Saturday being the worst of it, especially in this area shaded in orange. From Arkansas to Oklahoma, Missouri to Louisiana, could see multiple tornadoes, strong damaging winds, even hail. And again, once that same front reaches our area, we've had to drop our rain chances down. Now only 30%, and if we get that rain, it likely wouldn't be until after sunset on Sunday. So with that being said, bottom line, that Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast does not look bad. Plenty of sunshine with a mix of 70s and low 80s. Destiny.
Right now, it's definitely busy out there with most accidents right now showing up in the South Charlotte, Southeast Charlotte area. This is a new accident crashing the intersection at Carmel Road near Colony Road. Right now, it's causing impacts in both directions of traffic. You can see that red here at Carmel and on Colony this morning. And this is really the case across the Southeast Charlotte area. This morning, we're following a serious accident as well here on Randolph Road North at South Canterbury Road, not too far away from that last one. This one has all lanes blocked, so just be aware of that. A lot of people trying to get around it, which will cause backups as well. Wendover Road South at Monroe Road, I will say this one has improved quite a bit just south of Independence. This has gone from red to orange, so a little bit of an improvement there, but still slow traffic in the area. And then on Independence, the one accident we're seeing on this road is Independence Boulevard at Margaret Wallace Road this morning. This one hasn't changed a bit, still a lot of slow traffic. And then we have this one as well, Providence Road North at Pineville, Matthews Road, a big backup here all the way down to Kuykendall Road. So a lot going on this morning. And then we've been following this one for more than an hour now, York Road North at Grand Palisades Parkway. So if you're trying to find another way into North Carolina from South Carolina across the state line at Lake Wiley there, just be aware of that. And then this is a look across the Charlotte area. Just give yourself plenty of time.
Destiny, thanks. As we go to break, here is an exclusive shopping deal for our viewers.
Hey, this is a crazy statistic. Did you know that every single day in this country there are 1,700 burglaries? That's a break-in every single minute. So we're gonna try to keep you safe here. Our team is always looking for the best products to keep your family safe and save you money. We found it with Guard Dog. Couple of bundles here today I wanna show you. This is really easy. This one's called the Doorkeeper. You just stick it like this. We're gonna do this in real time so you see how easy it is. Kick it in. My producer Mike's on the other side playing the intruder. Try to get in, Mike. You can't get in. Mike's strong too. So that's one. This one is the Block Lock. Comes in the same bundle, and again, we're getting you 25% off of these today because we care about your safety. You put it right in like that. Then I want you to lock it in. Try to get in again. You can't get in. So again, this is great for Airbnbs, hotels, your kid's dorm room. Then there's a second bundle. This little wedge alarm, really cool because it wakes everybody up. If you're in trouble, you put it right under your door when you go to sleep. Mike, try to come in. Boom. It actually stops the door from opening, and that's a loud noise. That wakes you up and tells everybody else you're in trouble. Plus that bundle comes with, cover your ears, I'm sorry, an air horn in case you're ever in any trouble. Maybe if you want to go to a football game and you want to be annoying. Anyway, 25% off these bundles. Scan the QR code on your screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
The time is now 8:13. Thanks for streaming live on WCNC+. Mecklenburg County faces a growing problem that is often overlooked. It's home to approximately 200,000 cats that live on the street with only a few folks caring for them.
Joining us this morning on this National Feral Cat Day is Jennifer Barthel with Friends of Feral Felines. Jen, you and I know each other. We have gone through the feral cat situation in my neighborhood. She has been a godsend to walk me through every step of the way. So I understand, but help everybody understand. We hear about stray dogs all the time. That's a very common thing. But stray or feral cats is not often talked about. It falls under the radar, and people don't realize how big of a problem this is here in Charlotte or really across the country.
Yeah, it's thanks. First of all, Ben, for having me this morning. As you said, there's estimates that there's somewhere between 100,000 and 200,000 community cats in Mecklenburg County. It's very common. This is, community cats are common across the world. It's not until you see them in your backyard that maybe you're aware that they're there. But it's very common for cats to be wandering outdoors. We call them community cats. They're unowned. Typically, they are unsocialized, which means they're not used to interacting with humans. So they're not candidates for adoption typically. So the best thing we can do for them is to TNR them.
I like that you call them community cats. I was sharing with Ben prior to this. My grandmother down in South Carolina became the person known for taking care of, at least feeding those community cats. But we're talking about actually wild animals. And as you said, they aren't suitable for adoption. So the biggest, most important thing is actually trapping them. Explain that process and what people should do. Where should they start?
Yeah, great question. So TNR, or sometimes it's also referred to as TNVR, stands for trap, neuter, or spay and return. The best place to start is with an organization like Friends of Feral Felines. We can provide traps, so we loan traps. We show people how to safely use them. We'll connect community members with resources in their area, so clinics that will actually do TNR appointments. And then we'll actually kind of guide you through or mentor you through the TNR process.
And I am one of the people who has benefited from that. Every cage I ever got has been from Jen.
Okay.
We've trapped about 10 in our neighborhood. What about, because I know, Jen, when we first saw the first feral cat in our neighborhood, and she was in bad shape, and that's what started all 2 years ago. I was like, you want me to trap this thing? Like what? I don't want to trap a cat. Not understanding the process. And once we did once or twice, it was a bit easier. Right. I think we've saved an entire neighborhood of cats now. But for folks who say, I don't want to trap a cat, it sounds unpleasant. Explain what happens if we don't do something.
Yeah, if you don't do something, then one becomes many, right? I mean, you're the perfect example of this. You thought it was one or two, and it ended up being 8 and some kittens. So female cats can get pregnant as early as 4 months. They can have up to 3 litters per year, with the average litter size being 3 to 6 kittens per year. So you can see how that can quickly add up and become a bigger problem than 1 or 2. And it's important to neuter the males too. Males will wander up to several miles to find a female cat in heat. So it's very important. If you feed them, we say, then fix them.
Good point there. Yeah. So you're saying community cats, but explain the difference between a stray cat versus a feral cat, because there's a difference, yes?
Well, feral is used to refer to cats that are like truly unsocialized. You can't approach them. They're not going to come to you. You're not going to be able to touch them or interact with them. Community cats is kind of a broader term, so it encompasses feral cats, but also cats that may be slightly more socialized. Maybe they'll approach you but won't let you touch them, or maybe they'll come to the caregiver and allow them to touch and interact with them. So kind of, feral refers to cats that are just truly unsocialized, and community cats is kind of that broader term.
And finally, Jen, what are some things people can do if they don't want to say TNR or a trap and return? What are some other ways that folks can help an organization like yours?
I would say donate. So Friends of Feral Felines is 100% volunteer-based nonprofit. We operate off of donations. So donate to Friends of Feral Felines or other organizations in your area that do or support TNR, or volunteer. If you don't want to trap, we're always looking for people to do help with transportation, provide information to community members. So, learning and educating others in the community is a really great way to contribute as well.
And sometimes you don't have a choice. Sometimes the cats choose you. And now I'm on a daily allergy pill.
I'm not a cat person.
And all of a sudden, I'm the biggest cat person of them all. I'm taking pictures of them on vacation.
I love it. I love it.
Jen, thank you so much. I appreciate you making time for us and talking about an issue that I know is super important to you, and now super important to everybody in this newsroom because I talk about it all the time.
Yes.
All right, Jen, thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much.
All right, when we're back, another check of your morning weather and traffic.
Another gorgeous day out there as we are starting our Thursday. There's a whole lot of sunshine. I mean, not even a single cloud in the sky from Monroe to Charlotte. Even out there in Boone, you can see it is pretty. Most of us waking up to temperatures there into the 50s. 52 in Statesville, 57 in Monroe, up towards Boone. Again, 51 degrees. A little cool there out towards Morganton with upper 40s. Now, by the afternoon, still going to be very, very pleasant, very mild, but slightly cooler than where we were yesterday. Plan for highs mainly around those mid-70s. And remember, we've had 3 straight days in a row, really a copy of rinse and repeat forecast where we've had those daytime highs rise to 81 degrees. So today, mid-70s, waking up tomorrow, it's going to be a little chilly for some of us. 40s across the board. Unless you're up in the mountains, it's going to be even cooler. And here's the deal. We have that cooler air, but we also have that drier air that's going to make it feel really crisp. If you're heading heading out to the mountains today to go look at the beautiful fall foliage, the best areas right now are right around Banner Elk, Blowing Rock, and then Boone. You can see areas to the north, or a little higher in elevation, I should say, have already reached those areas past peak fall foliage. So it's going to be nice, though, if you're heading out. There's that mountain forecast. Sunny skies today through Saturday, comfortable into the 60s and 70s. And then on Sunday, we'll see those temperatures slip down into the low 60s, cloudy skies, and then some scattered rain showers. And also this weekend, the Whirly Worm Festival in Banner Elk is going to be ongoing. If you're packing up the family and heading out to that, 71 degrees on Saturday. It's going to be very pleasant, and then we do have a better chance of seeing some rain showers on Sunday. So it should be a pretty good time. Apparently the worm is supposed to predict what the winter forecast is going to be. So I'll be anxious to hear how that goes. Until then, we're going to send things over to Destiny with the very latest with traffic. Good morning, Destiny.
Good morning. Yeah, it's been a pretty active morning, especially since about 7 o'clock since we started here on WCNC Plus. So this is the perfect place to get all of your morning commute updates. This is the latest crash we're following just east of Uptown, outbound Central Avenue after Briar Creek Road. There's an accident in the left lane at this time. So this is what it's looking like. A bit of a medium impact here along Central Ave, but the left lane is blocked. So definitely take care with that as you're heading out this morning. This is in the South Park area. Carmel Road in both directions near Colony Road is blocked because of a crash in the intersection here, and a lot more of a heavier impact with that on both roads, so just be mindful of that as well. I also want to share an update with this serious accident. All lanes blocked on Randolph Road north at South Canterbury Road. Medics says one patient was transported with minor injuries. So thankfully nobody seriously hurt, no fatalities in this accident, but just beware that just across the southeast Charlotte area this morning, there's just a lot going on. And of course, we'll continue to have updates on WCNC Plus. I leave you with your drive times as we go to break.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. It's another gorgeous start to the day. A whole lot of sunshine out there, and temperatures are feeling pretty nice as well. This is downtown Monroe, but most of us, we all are waking up to a view like that. Over the last 3 days, we've had the same exact daytime high. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 81 degrees, and today we're going to break that streak, but we still get to hold on to plenty of sunshine. You can see it there from Charlotte to Boone. 51 degrees if you're waking up there in Boone. It's 52 in Statesville. Rock Hill, good morning to you. You're nearing 60 degrees. It's pleasant if you're heading out for that morning walk. You can see by the afternoon, still going to see those temperatures get comfortable, mainly mid-70s. Most people like that kind of weather, but we're also preparing you for a crisp start to our Friday morning, as temperatures will be into the 30s and 40s. 37 degrees tomorrow morning in Boone, but then it's going to be another beautiful day. Those daytime highs will rebound back into the mid-70s for our Friday. Saturday, the Charlotte FC game will be ongoing. Sunday, more clouds, slightly cooler with only a 30% chance for a few stray showers. All right, Destiny, how are the area roadways this morning?
Yeah, right now we're definitely seeing an active morning. A lot of congestion this morning on our interstates. Not as many accidents on our interstates, but still a lot of accidents just in the South Charlotte and Southeast Charlotte area in particular. The most recent crash is on Central Ave at Briar Creek Road, left lane blocked there, and then also a crash on Cromwell Road at Colony Road. Also an update with this serious accident, one person with minor injuries, but it has since cleared. Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus at 8:30 on this Thursday. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. Today marks the start of early voting here in Mecklenburg County, and discussions continued last night on a major item that's going to be on the ballot, the 1-cent sales tax for transportation-related projects.
If it's approved, it would raise the sales tax in Mecklenburg County from 7.25% to 8.25%. For example, on a $100 purchase, you would pay $8.25 in sales tax instead of $7.25. WCNC Charlotte's Tradisha Woodard spoke with folks on both sides about how this measure could change Charlotte's transportation system for years to come.
Before polls even open, voters' phones have already been lighting up, flooded with text messages urging them to vote yes or no.
Both of them are wearing me out.
City leaders and transportation advocates say the tax is critical to fund light rail expansion, safer roads, and long-promised sidewalks, calling it an investment in Charlotte's future.
People need to take that seriously. It's potential investments in the future of this community and how we'll grow and how we'll be able to keep up with the influx of 157 people a day moving to this area.
Others, including several community organizations like Action NC, are pushing back, saying the extra tax would hit low-income families hardest and question whether money will really be spent as promised.
The city paints you the best picture that they can. For low-income communities, it's asking us to pay for a train coming to bring in folks for the suburbs, for the corporate community, in exchange for bus shelters.
As both sides make their final push tonight, knocking on doors and sharing information online,
The fix is voting this down and starting over.
the community will ultimately decide if the project is worth every penny with every vote.
Drive around, look around. I mean, are you satisfied with what you see?
And early voting will begin October 16th and continue through November 1st. Reporting for WCNC Charlotte, I'm Tradisha Woodard.
All right, well, good morning, everyone. It's beautiful outside this morning. If you're just turning on the stream, well, good morning. We have really a very similar setup as to what we saw yesterday when we've been looking at the weather forecast. Sunny skies, very, very pleasant. You can see this is a live camera coming in from Lylesville out there in Anson County. And those current temperatures, whether you're heading off to work, you're just grabbing your hot cup of coffee and you're sitting outside, they're pleasant, mainly into the 50s and low 60s. Now this afternoon, we will see those daytime highs get a little bit cooler than where we were yesterday. Now the last 3 days, this has kind of been an odd forecast where it's really been a rinse and repeat. We've had a high of 81 degrees Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then today we'll have a high around 76. As we're heading through Saturday, it's going to be warmer. We're back into the 80s for a day, and then we do have a cold front that moves through on Sunday. It's not going to be that impactful for us though. Slightly cooler and only a small chance for a few passing showers. This is what your Thursday looks like. Clear skies this morning. It is really pretty out there, and those temperatures again rising back into right around those mid 70s. Let's take you out to the mountains today because lots of people will be out and about, maybe going on hikes or just heading out to one of the cute mountain towns there like Blowing Rock or Boone. Mid to upper 60s. So most areas in the mountains today not even reaching 70 degrees, and that's perfect weather as you're heading around town or as you are going for walks out there on some of those trails. We're looking at 77 for your high today in Morganton with mainly sunny skies. Mid 70s for Taylorsville, Statesville, Lincolnton, 76 degrees this afternoon. And then as we head to the south just a bit out towards Chesterfield, about 75 degrees. It's going to be nice today, and it's going to be really pleasant as we're heading into the afternoon. Again, here's a nice live camera shot, not even a single cloud in the sky. This is downtown Monroe, but most of us, again, topping off, going to see a very similar setup there. Again, the last 3 days, we've had a rare kind of trifecta with 81 degrees each and every day. And then today's still going to be nice, but again, just slightly cooler. Temperatures heading out the door are pretty nice. We're looking at 49 degrees in Lincolnton. And again, those temperatures mainly into the 70s this afternoon with a whole lot of sunshine. As far as tomorrow morning goes, this is when it's going to really feel like fall. Waking up tomorrow morning right before sunrise, temperatures are expected to drop down into the 30s for many of us in the mountains, mid to upper 30s. We're talking about 39 degrees in Jefferson, 34 in Boone, and then right around Charlotte about 47. So it is going to feel cool, but it's not just because of the cooler temperatures. It's also because of the drier air back behind a front that has passed through, so that's going to make it feel nice and crisp. Heading into tomorrow, oh yeah, it's Friday, mid 70s, and the Charlotte Checkers, they are at home. On Saturday, we have the Charlotte FC game. It's going to be a nice overall Saturday. Little on the warm side, low 80s. Take advantage of it though, especially if you like the warmer weather. Sunday, more clouds, but only a 30% chance for a few passing showers. And then back behind Sunday's front will come cooler temperatures again. Monday morning, we'll wake up to temperatures mainly into the 40s, and then we'll rebound nicely as we're heading into the 70s. All right, we're going to send things over to Destiny with a quick check on traffic. Are there any problems out there this morning? Any big accidents that people should know as they're heading out the door this morning?
Yeah, there definitely are. The good news, though, is that the most serious accident of the morning has cleared. But this is a live look at I-77 at Nations Ford Road in Tyvola. Between those exits this morning, you'll definitely see a lot of congestion still on our highways. But this is the cleared accident. One person, unfortunately, transported with minor injuries at Randolph Road North at Canterbury. But thankfully, the lanes have reopened here. We do still have a lot of congestion in the area though, so just be mindful of that. While it actually has cleared, it's going to take a while before things clear in the surrounding area. Still have a left lane blocked here east of Uptown. Crash on Central Ave at Briar Creek Road. You can see the impacts from that here, especially on Central Avenue. And then going down back to South Park and kind of the southeast Charlotte area, a crash on Carmel Road at Colony Road. We also have an accident at Wendover Road South at Monroe Road. These are just some older ones here. And then going all the way south, York Road north at Grand Palisades Parkway. Still a huge backup from this all the way across the state line, across Lake Wylie here. So this morning you just want to be mindful that there's still a lot ongoing. There's some good news with some accidents clearing, but as you can see across the Charlotte area, still a lot of congestion. Here are your AM drive times if you are coming in from other towns.
All right. Destiny, thanks for that. New developments this morning. Authorities say they have somebody in custody for Monday night shooting at a Union County Taco Bell. 22-year-old Jaliscio Ritchie, now charged with murdering 23-year-old Dontravian Hobbs. Deputies say Ritchie shot Hobbs while Hobbs was working at the Taco Bell there on US 74 and Indian Trail. Deputies say their investigation is far from finished and they still need the community's help.
So I think the question that everybody wants to know now is why? You know, why did this another young man, a 22-year-old young man, come into a restaurant in the middle of the evening and shoot a 23-year-old young man for just seemingly unprovoked?
If you know anything about the case, please contact the Union County Sheriff's Office.
Governor Josh Stein is celebrating a new investment in North Carolina's future. The governor joined Guilford Tech Community College yesterday to break ground on its new aviation center. The project is designed to train students for high-demand jobs in aerospace and advanced manufacturing. The governor says the center builds on the state's long history of innovation and will help make North Carolina the future of flight.
Los Angeles is declaring a state of emergency over immigration raids, but it's not just LA. We'll show you where else raids are happening across the country next, right here on WCNC Plus. All right, 8:41 right now on WCNC Plus, and check this out. A new restaurant in Washington, D.C. is going phone free. The goal is to get more people to engage with others around them.
That's right. Michael Yoshida shows us how the owner is trying to change the dining experience one device-free meal at a time.
A night out without distraction.
I'm trying to actually engage with people.
They turn to the person next to them, start talking, making a friend.
This new Washington, D.C. bar and restaurant is phone-free.
Most people said they were skeptical or just told me I was crazy as hell.
Chef Rock Harper says the idea for a phone-free space came after examining his own relationship with his devices. Harper hosted a few comedy-free events where phones weren't allowed and then decided to go further, opening Hush Harbor.
I'm betting on humanity. I'm betting on humans being in community with other humans.
Welcome back, welcome back.
When you arrive, your phone goes into a magnetically closed pouch that you carry with you. For mobile pay, a tab can be set up before sealing it shut. Need your phone? The pouch can be unlocked anytime. You'll just be asked to use it outside.
I like my phone. I like seeing, my messages and emails and things come through. But sometimes you gotta unwind.
Studies have shown cell phones can hinder social interactions. From the negative signal it can send to others when you glance at your device to the simple distraction.
We often think we are very good at multitasking, but we're not. Turning your attention away to your smartphone, even for a brief second, that pulls you away from the conversation.
Harper hopes offering a space for people to disconnect from the digital world will allow them to reconnect with the real one.
We as human beings need offline spaces to commune and convene and just to be around one another is really important right now.
What I like about this is that it's sort of agreed upon when you go in, because we are all guilty of going to a dinner or a lunch with someone and you're sort of in a different mood, so you're having to check your phone, and the other person, and you've been on the other side of that. So this, everybody's agreeing going in.
Put it down. But there's something to be said about, catching up with a girlfriend or a friend, and you get there and you just put the phone away and it's like, you have all my attention. How are you?
Yes.
What's going on? So I can appreciate that for sure. What were you going to say?
I like the moments where you can just be present, because I look at my phone a lot and I'm like, why do I look at it so much? I think for one, just to distract me from reality. So if I'm just sitting with somebody, I can be present with them. But also, I need the person that I'm with to be entertaining or fun or, having deep conversations, because if they're boring, then
you're
I'm
just
looking
going
at
to
my phone.
Oh boy.
You know what I mean? That's how I really feel.
But the people feel this. They can, I'm sure, pick up on that they're having to compete for your attention.
Absolutely.
Like they have to for me, and that's not fun for anybody.
I'm pretty intentional about putting my phone, turning it over at least. But sometimes if it's 3 people, then and they're having conversation, I will go back on my phone.
So you can, exactly.
All right, well, coming up in just a couple of minutes, we're going to have a full look at that full weekend forecast and all the different events going on across town.
Hi, this is Larry Sprinkle. It's Thursday and time for On This Day in History. The year was 1846, October 16th. Ether used in surgery the first time at Massachusetts General Hospital. Here are the facts. Modern anesthesia used for the first time when Dr. William T.G. Morton demonstrated ether in a public surgery at Massachusetts General Hospital. And this is an image, not a picture, but of how they did it back then. A very strange device, actually, with that ether, and that put the person to sleep for surgery back in the day. So ether used for the first time on this day in history. I'm Larry Sprinkle.
All right, thanks, Larry. Let's get a look at the weather forecast as we are heading into the day. It's going to be a beautiful one, and temperatures are mild outside this morning, mainly into the 50s. You can see Monroe, Charlotte, Boone. It's one of those days where you might want to grab a light sweatshirt, but also maybe those sunglasses because it is going to be gorgeous out there. We've been seeing a nice, beautiful, clear sky from early this morning until right now, and that's going to be the setup for us even as we're heading into the afternoon. 76 degrees is where we'll top off today, and really the big part of our weather story is that it's going to be nice today, very, very enjoyable, but we've strangely have had 3 days in a row with temperatures at 81 degrees. So today, because of a dry cold front, those temperatures will dip just a little bit. They'll return back into the low 80s on Saturday, and then another cool down is on the way. We'll feel that by Monday. Now here's the setup. Here's our futurecast. So we've had that dry cold front push through. Clear skies, northerly air settling in, dropping temperatures, bringing in drier air. So the dew points are getting lower and lower. But we're really focused on a strong cold front that's going to be moving across the country, really impacting the mid-south. I'm talking about Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and even parts of Louisiana and Texas. That same cold front tries to make its way across the Carolinas, but as it does so, it loses a lot of its momentum. That cold front, though, bottom line, will bring 3 days in a row for a severe weather threat across this part outside of the country. And on Saturday, this will likely be the worst day, especially in this area shaded in orange, where we could see tornadoes develop. We could see strong damaging winds, even hail. And this is not out of the ordinary. We typically have those 2 different times of the year, spring and fall, for a severe weather season. And that's exactly what they're seeing. Again, that same exact cold front that could bring some very dangerous weather across the mid-south this upcoming weekend. It tries to make its way across the Carolinas. All it's going to bring for us is about a 30% chance for a few passing showers, and then beautiful weather to look forward to by Monday. All right, Destiny, we're going to send things over to you. How's traffic? Anything new this morning?
Yeah, this morning things are getting a lot better, but we're also seeing some new accidents popping up to replace it. This is not an accident, but a disabled vehicle in the left lane on inbound Tryon Street at I-45 inner loop. So if you're trying to get onto the loop this morning, just be aware that there's a blockage here. We also have an accident that's blocking 2 left lanes on inbound Independence Boulevard after Albemarle Road this morning. As you can see, police on scene and helping block those lanes there. So we're still seeing congestion across the map, fewer accidents, but still make sure you give yourself plenty of time. And a lot of these accidents too are still showing a little bit of residual backup. So while they're trying to clear it, it's still causing some issues. And this is what we're looking at with this accident here that's been here for a while. Crash on Central Avenue at Briar Creek Road, still seeing that the left lane is blocked, but it's kind of been the same degree of backups here, still medium impacts at this intersection. Also, following this crash that's been here for more than an hour, still backups. This is actually kind of near Palisades High School as well. So just a heads up there if you're near Lake Wiley, York Road North at Palisades Parkway, and backed up across the state line this morning. So drive safely out there.
4:50 right now in Iowa. A Des Moines second grader celebrating a major milestone after becoming cancer-free.
Laura Terrell has more on his heartwarming health journey.
Gabe Fuller is used to this routine by now, walking hand in hand with mom to a place he knows well.
At least probably more than 50 times.
The 8-year-old enters familiar hallways before getting to his final destination inside Blank Children's Hospital.
Hello. I know.
First comes the measurements.
49 and 3/8.
Oh my gosh, that's like an 1/8 of an inch taller. Did you bring your sister with you?
Yeah.
And then to the exam room.
Okay, that's a good one.
Where a selfie.
You approve? Okay.
And a game of catch helps pass the time.
Ready, coming to you.
Until the doctor comes in.
Today I only have a blood draw and something called a breathing treatment.
Gabe's symptoms started in kindergarten, random fevers and leg pain.
I played baseball, but right in the middle of the season, I got cancer and I couldn't play anymore.
Acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Gabe's was a rare and aggressive form that doctors say is hard to treat.
Just the worst thing you can imagine. Like, just the shock.
The chemotherapy was grueling. While most first graders trick-or-treated, Gabe spent Halloween in a hospital bed. For a year and a half, he lost his hair, but not his joyful spirit.
After about 2 months, we knew a transplant was in his future because the chemo drugs weren't being effective.
Doctors needed to get the cancer level low enough so Gabe could undergo a bone marrow transplant. A breakthrough drug called blinatumomab did just that.
We had to get his cancer down to 0.01% present in his bloodstream, and Blin was like the final drug that we used to be able to zap it.
KCCI told you about blinatumomab back in July. Doctors call this immunotherapy drug a game changer when it comes to treating leukemia.
It has taken our cure rates from probably a little bit below 90% for acute lymphoblastic leukemia to well above 95%. And it's also very effective in very hard to cure cases like Gabe's was.
The clinical trials for blinatumomab ended late last year, which meant Gabe was one of the first kids to get the miracle drug at Blank Children's Hospital. A successful bone marrow transplant at the University of Minnesota Hospital was the final step in beating cancer. But there is one thing left to do. A serenade by his care team and a moment that symbolizes the fight is over.
Okay, hold on. All right, let her rip.
Always great when they ring that bell.
Yeah, right.
So good.
A lot for a second grader to go through.
For sure, absolutely. All right, so brilliant sunshine continues today.
Yes, it's so pretty here in Charlotte, but also up in the mountains. I'm looking forward to going there this weekend, and I've been watching to see the traffic when it actually starts, and it was about 7:30. People are out there, and they are ready to explore. I want to show you a live camera. This one's coming in from Blowing Rock before we go. It's going to be a beautiful day, or maybe just the uptown. That's fine. That's fine as well. It's all pretty.
All right, thanks, Majestic. We'll have another update on weather and traffic coming up in just 2 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. We are heading into an absolutely gorgeous Thursday morning. It's beautiful right here in Charlotte, but look at this. This is also stunning right there in Blowing Rock as the trees continue to change colors. It's going to be a great weekend to head out there if you are doing that. Today, though, right now, temperatures are mainly into the 50s and 60s. 63 in Charlotte, 51 out there in Boone. And temperatures today, they're going to be a little cooler than yesterday. 76 planned for that here in Charlotte. Waking up tomorrow, be ready for for it. It's going to be a bit chilly with temperatures into the 30s and 40s. All right, Destiny, sending it over to you.
Yeah, this morning it has been a pretty active morning. We've seen some crashes clear, so things are easier on that end, but still a lot of heavy traffic just as people are coming into the Charlotte area. This is I-77 in South Charlotte this morning, and you can see the red just from the backups today. Here's one of the accidents that we're following this morning, a crash on Central Avenue at Briar Creek Road, and then there's another one near Palisades High School near Lake Wiley this morning, so just be aware of that. Drive safely and have a great Thursday.